Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. Terrorist Turji, the terrorist kingpin in Zamfara, Bello Turji, well, he's in the news again, this time for releasing 32 kidnapped persons and reportedly agreeing to stop attacking farmers who, as you know, have had to abandon their farms for fear of being attacked by these very terrorists. Okay, well, all of this follows a meeting that was held in his hideout with a number of Islamic clerics. So we'll take it from there, and because of this, let's see, we'll be speaking with Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi. He's a politician and executive director of Patriots for Advancement of Peace and Social Development, and he joins us from our Abuja studio. Good morning, and thank you very much for coming on the program, Dr. Shinkafi.
Good morning, Chiblo Yori.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the program.
Okay, then. Well, it looks like good things are coming out of the Shinkafi local LGA. And you know what I mean there. And I'm talking about this because, Bello Turji, he, as I was just saying, has, said that, he has actually released, according to news reports, he has actually released 32 kidnapped persons and reportedly has agreed to stop attacking farmers so that they can go back to their farms. As we all know, farmers have had to abandon their farms for fear of being attacked by these same terrorists. Now, oftentimes we have professionals, experts like you telling us to not ignore the non-kinetic approach. So is this a classical example of a non-kinetic approach and a successful one at that?
This is it's a combination of good news, bad news, and ugly news.
How so, sir?
Yeah, you see, these bandits are full of deception and betrayal, and they are not honest and they are not reliable. Following the intensive fight between the civilian JTF and the civilian JTF Community Protection Guard and the armed bandit kingpin, that is Bello Turji, the civilian JTF are under supervision of the Department of State Security Service, were deployed to Shinkafi, and they are over 1,000 in number. And already there's an established state security network under the Act of State House of Assembly. They call it Community Protection Guards, Askarawa. Combination of these fighters attack Turji hideout, and the communication network, for all the communication network, MTN, Airtel, Nine Mobile, was switched up for 2 weeks. That's an intensive fight between the civilian JTF and the Turji. Following this fight, the civilian JTF have decisively dealt with Turji and his sub-lieutenant, and many of his foot soldiers were killed. So in the course of that fight, then he now demanded for peace and reconciliation with the locals.
Okay.
But the stand of the Zamfara State government, the governor have maintained his stance since he became governor of Zamfara State, that he will not reconcile or make a peace deal with armed bandits, because they are not reliable, they are not honest, they are not sincere, they are betrayals. In the previous administration of Abdulaziz Ziari, have made intensive effort to make this peace and reconciliation with this armed bandit. After some time, it failed with Buhari Daji and his fighters and Adamu Aleru. At the same time, Bello Muhammad Matole did everything humanly possible to make peace and reconciliation with this armed bandit, but it fails. So why we said that this time around, we call it enough is enough of deception. Even yesterday, a community in Shinkapi village called Shanawa, 7:30 p.m. were attacked. Inside to Shinkapi Road, people were attacked, killed, and kidnapped. Geza in Katuru district, in the same Shinkapi local government, people were killed and kidnapped. From Moriki town to Shinkapi, some people were kidnapped. Just yesterday, just few days. So that is why I say it is full of good news, bad news, and ugly news. So, and the people they say he has released from his captivity, many people, more than 200 people, are still in captivity in Pake Forest. And if they say he has surrendered some arms, traditionally, when you are going into peace and reconciliation dialogue, state government must be involved. Traditional rulers and other Islamic clerics will be involved in the reconciliation process. And when you also retrieve or collected some arms and captives, traditionally you take them to the palace of the Emir of Shinkapi, and the Emir of Shinkapi will hand them over to the local government chairman. The local government chairman will take them to the commissioner of police in the state command. Then the commissioner of police will make a press conference and take them to the state government. And the state government will take them to hospital after the captives have been treated, and they will now be reunited with their family. And when a armed bandit or a terrorist surrender arms, the arms will be taken to the commissioner of police. Then commissioner of police will display these arms, give a description of the arms, also take an inventory of the arms and take it to the inventory. All these processes have not been taken care of. So some of people in Shinkapi community, nobody believed that these people were released because nobody from Shinkapi or around the villages have been cited from the people who they claimed have been released. And nobody see even single then gone which Turji have surrendered. And if Turji surrenders some arms, Turji has more than 2,000 arms and ammunition, because he has more than 3,500 foot soldier fighters who are under his command. And he has sub-lieutenant Sani Black, Malen Ila, Kanawa, Dambokolo, Dankalamu, and many others who has some of the catchment area in Zurmi, in Dutsi, in Empuki, in Koshabawa, in Mayasa, in Modachi, in Baparawa, in Kamarawa, in Gatawa, in Melele, in Sabambrini, and Goroyo, and Gundimi axis. All this is catchment area. Even just 2 days ago, the civilian JTF went to Galadi to fight with this armed bandit, and 10 armed bandits were killed, and they retrieved their motorcycles and their arms. The civilian JTF, under supervision of the Office of Director of State Security Service, the DG, Director General of State Security Service. These assets are the one who fought Boko Haram in the northeast, and they were staying in Shinkapi. They were stopped by this Islamic cleric and the other committee they say from the Office of National Security at the Bada and the Office of Chairman Committee on Security and Intelligence. They were stopped. They were denied to go to the forest and fight this armed bandit. So this is the situation. We call this as a deception. No arms displayed, no arms which were taken to the Commissioner of Police, no victims were taken to the Commissioner of Police, no victims were taken to the state government. And the governor had made it clear that he will never, ever involve in the peace dialogue with the armed bandit. So the kinetic procedure which the cleric or the Office of National Security Advisor or the Office of Chairman Committee on Security and Intelligence are trying to exploit, it is not in the right direction. They should apply the methodology which was applied in the Northeast in 2016. That is Operation SEP Corridor, where there will be a de-radicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration of these terrorists or armed bandits into the society. When there is no disarmament process, when there is no vocational training set to train this bandit, and they were not come in a center where you can bring maybe a personnel of NDLE, that is National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, to be counseling them on drug abuse, because most of the contributing factor of this terrorism or armed banditry is consumption of illicit drugs. It's one of the contributing factors which have been lubricating this armed banditry. So the Turji is just trying to retreat so that he will now sell his roasted cattle in the cattle market, in livestock market in Shinkafi, and he used it also to buy arms and ammunition. The most worrisome
one moment.
And disheartening situation.
I beg your pardon. One moment, sir. Just to tell our viewers that when we cut away, if we cut away, we can always, in fact, you can see a program now. If you want to continue watching this morning, of course, you can go to our YouTube channel. Alternatively, we'll show a QR code. You can scan that on your phone, which will take you automatically to a continuation of the program on YouTube. Okay, so that's about that. Now back to our guest, Dr. Abdullahi Shinkafi. Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Shinkafi, for all of that. You know, before I'm able to sort of find my way to understand it, first of all, thank you very much, because the news reports, you know, were saying what I said, and here you are giving me, you know, particular details. So I wanted to ask the question, do we know who Musa Yusuf, who was the main source of this news? He's also known as Asadus Sunnah, Musa Yusuf, and he released this information. He gave this information at a religious meeting in Kaduna on Monday. So what's that all about? He said they've released 32 persons, including children and women. You've just said that, well, residents in the area have not seen that. There's also the question of arms have also been surrendered, but the same Musa Yusuf was explaining that, well, you see, not all of his arms, so that he wouldn't be vulnerable to attack from others. So it's like enough has been left for him to be able to, you know, protect himself and take care of business. And quite frankly, just go ahead and comment on that, because I'm beginning to wonder who's in charge here. Is it Turji that's in charge, or is it, you know, the authorities and the JTF?
Yeah, you see the Islamic cleric. I cannot publicly say that the Islamic cleric is telling lies, but he has, because he said he has visited Turji in his hideout. But what I'm saying, traditionally, whenever arms and ammunition were either surrendered by a bandit or terrorist, or through the fight, the terrorists or bandits were killed, the security agencies will retrieve these arms and take it to the police. Even if it is army, they will take it to the police. Then the police will display it and make a press statement that so bandit surrender arms, or so bandit was killed, so items were recovered from the bandits. But in this situation, nobody have ever seen a single rifle surrendered by Turji. Nobody see these victims and the pressmen in either Shinkapi or in the state capital, Gusau, or at the police command, or at the military brigade, nobody have ever seen, or even the office of the Director State Security Service, nobody have seen these arms and ammunition. Nobody have given this report. So the information is only maybe it is the Islamic cleric and the members of the committee who went there. And some security agencies escorted him to the hideout with the committee or his members of the committee. He's not the chairman of the committee, but he went there with some Islamic cleric from Shinkabi, as he claimed, because I'm not in Shinkabi, I have not heard, but I have heard that some few people from Shinkabi followed him, Malam Hamisu and Malam Usman from Ajia in Shinkabi, went there with him with some people in the committee. But clearly, nobody can tell you, including the emir, because I called the emir personally to ask him. He said he have not seen these arms, he have not seen the captives who were released, and none of them is, even if they were released, none of them is from Shinkapi. So this is what I'm saying. People appreciate the effort of the cleric trying to make peace with him, but there is lack of trust, no mutual trust between the community and the armed bandit keeping Turji. Because this thing has been taking place, and let me tell you something. One of the worrisome thing, one of his lieutenant called Sani Black, enforced a levy to him. He has enforced a levy to the community of Gidan Shahu, Maramari, and other villages, Kwashabawa, Mayasa, to give him 150 kg of gold. Do you know what it means? If Turji decided to stop kidnapping, to stop killing, to stop demanding for ransom, and has been demanding from the villagers to give him gold, that is going to be a serious disaster and catastrophe to the whole exercise. Because 150 kilo of gold, as at international market today, is worth in naira. If you convert it to naira, 1 kilo is 164 million. Then if you times it by 150 kilo, it's 24 billion 600 million. If a bandit can get this gold and sell it to the international buyers and exchange it for arms, then where they can even topple they can even take over the government of Zamfara State.
I hear what you I get what you're saying. Yeah.
They are more richer than the state government, because in 3 months, Zamfara State government cannot get 24.6 billion naira.
Okay,
So
now one moment.
Ahead now.
One moment, Dr. Shinkafi. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Because, well, you see, we're talking about Musa Yusuf, the cleric, also known as Asadu Sunnah. He was saying that, that apart from Turji, there's also the Dan Bakolo, there's Black.
Dan Bakolo, yes.
There's Black, there's Kanawa, and Malam Ila. Mentioning all of these. So he seems to have a free hand giving out all this information, and the newspapers, some have run with it. And here you are explaining that all of that is good and well, but people in the area have not seen what the newspapers are claiming. And as you said, the governor himself is not really a fan of their methods. And indeed, how trustworthy are they? That's another aspect. But at this stage, sir, let me bring on Malam Usman Mohammed Anache. Malam Usman Mohammed Anache, he's been listening to us. I say a good morning to you, sir. Chairman, Grassroots Advocacy for Peace and Good Governance. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
So, please, what would be your comment? You've been listening to Dr. Shinkafi for a while. What can you add to that? What can you tell us? Because I don't know. I don't know what it is. But you've just heard somebody who would know say that, well, the people in the area have not seen all that has been claimed on behalf of both Turji and Musa Yusuf.
Yes. Actually, I don't even trust this negotiation. On my own side, we don't trust this negotiation. We don't trust these bandits. This negotiation has been going on for a long time. Even in the previous Zamfara State administration,
Yes.
Turji has claimed to be negotiation, but actually refused to surrender his weapons. Even now, it's the same scenario, it's deceiving. And the issue and the problem we have with these clerics is this. They should take example that Gumi has been going in and out of this bandit camp since 2016. Nothing comes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is totally military affair. So this cleric that has gone there, I'm not saying it's totally wrong, but they have to go with military experts who are really expert in peacemaking and the military tactics. Because there is no way as a cleric you go to bush and start negotiating without even the government consent. Because to us, we don't even understand what exactly is going on there. So we don't trust those Turji, we don't trust anybody, and we encourage the military to continue their campaign. We encourage the military to continue their operation. It is the time that he's seeing that everything is closing up to him. Now that the Askarawa were there, the military were condoning him. They are cutting off his communication, this thing. They are cutting off his supplies chain. That is why he is trying to make some excuses so that he can gather some weapons, get prepared again, and start attack. Why I said it is this: before the negotiation, he slaughtered some people. Now, after the negotiation and I claim release of people and the weapons, he still attack after that. Then what is the negotiation there? If you attack and kill people before negotiation, you did the same thing after negotiation. Then who is negotiation with who? And why the Zamfara government was not involved in the negotiation? Why the federal government was not involved in the negotiation? Why the emir and the local authorities were not involved in the negotiation? If somebody can come from Kaduna, with due regards to Malam Asad Sunnah, let him understand the scenario first. This scenario means terrorist. It's not a conventional war. We have so many types of conflicts. We have terrorism, we have this insurgency, we have conventional war. This is not conventional. It's war that is fought between people within the area. Turji is actually from Fakai village, within that area. And he held the people to ransom in that Fakai forest. So this is what is happening. So the army are now closing on him. And they have to get some scapegoat. And let me tell you, there are so many indications that he understands his problem. He is not doing the videos as before. Before he's even doing the video of threat and other things, and they bring it. But for some months now, he's on the run. He's in the hiding. So it is this hiding that he wants to get some little excuses. So to me, I will encourage the federal government to continue with the military operation in Zamfara and see that they bring an end to this scenario. How can somebody now in that Zamfara ask villagers to bring gold to him? Imagine. So if this is the scenario, if this is the case, it means they are not ready to surrender. So the military should just continue with their campaign, and the God will help us, inshallah. And I want to call on the Zamfara state government and the Katsina state government and also Sokoto to borrow a lift from Kebbi state government. The Kebbi state government did not even put any community guards. They used the conventional security forces we have, the military, the police, the DSS, and the other things. It's only that the governor encouraged them. And let it be up at doing that. Whenever there's a case, the governor should show concern, should be there. This is what the Kebbi state governor is doing. Immediately when there's any attack, no matter how slight it is, even if the governor is not in the country, he will rush back and visit the area and assess the situation, get the root of the matter, why it happens, how it happens, who is at fault, how it can be prevented. This is what the Kebbi state governor is doing. Recently, he secured us a military naval base in Yauri, which is now to be constructed, and the Navy officers will be there to secure all our riverine areas, all our waterways. So this is what's supposed to be done. The government has to come in up and down. And there is no division from the politicians, maybe not cooperating with each other, or from the emirs. You see, most of the problem we're having is that, when the Zamfara state was created, there is no single emir within the Zamfara state. All are district states. So all the 16 local government were promoted immediately to first-class emirs. It's too cumbersome for the government. So it's good they should go and enact a law. Get at least 2 or 3 emirs, just like in Katsina, where we have only Daura and Katsina. In Kebbi here, we have Gwandu, Argungu, Yaour, and Zuru Emirates. So these emirs play a very vital role. But how can the governor deal with 16 emirs at the same time? So this is a problem. And these emirs claim to be having district sets. So it is cumbersome for him. So I would advise them, they should go and do the needful. The federal government did the needful by appointing the immediate past governor of Zamfara state to be the Minister of Defense. Because he knows the problem more than anybody, and his state is affected more than any state. So that is why the federal government appointed him as the minister, so that he can handle the issue more than anybody who, at least you are from the AP area, the center of the problem. So you should know and try as much as you can to see that this thing has been brought to an end. But inshallah, with the situation in Zamfara, I passed through Zamfara last week, just 3 to 4 days. I passed through that road from Zaria up to Guso, up to Sokoto. There is relatively calm and everything is quietly okay on the road. But in the hinterland, that is why we're having some of these problems. So since the military were able to secure all the areas within the movement of the people that are moving freely, now they are now focusing on that areas where these bandits were being hiding as taken other. And the locals should stop cooperating with these bandits.
But you see, they say, according to the reports, they say, especially, Musa Yusuf says that the locals invited them.
On what terms and on what ground and on what authority? So these are the problem. And sometimes what happens like in Sokoto, because here in Kebbi State, we're only having the infiltration. From Zamfara, they will infiltrate, attack us around Zuru area, Kebbi South, which the governor has already secured some military camps in that area. That is over since. And the infiltration from Augi and Arewa local government from Sokoto through this Lakurawa. These Lakurawa were formerly living in Kudu, Tangaza, and these other areas of Sokoto state. Unconfirmed reports say that they are even invited them to protect them from the police. After the contract, they start kidnapping and other things. So we only have infiltration. But whenever we have any of the infiltration or breach of security, you will definitely see that all our government agencies, including the governor, were right there. So the seriousness of the government matters in this issue. So locals should not just take this thing personal on their own. They should involve their government, and their government must be involved in all this negotiation. So I don't agree with any negotiation with any bandit. To me, it's not a proper thing to do, because this is not a conventional war. This is insurgency, which sometimes these people were within us. So we have to allow the security forces to do their work and continue on praying. We're not saying clerics should not be interfering, but some of the information, some of these clerics even bring on the air is a problem. If you have any good information on any of such issues, please submit it to your government or submit it to security agencies, so that they know this thing more than you. They know how to handle a lot of situations, which you don't know.
Okay.
We know you are cleric, you know Quran, you know Hadith, you know everything, but security aspect of it is different thing.
Security
so inform the security agencies. If this agency didn't do their work, inform the another agency or escalate even report to the federal government.
Okay, I tell you now. Okay, Malam Usman, I got to take a break. Thank you very much. I got to take a break, so we'll come back, continue this conversation, and also take some calls. In fact, because both you gentlemen, there's also Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi, who spoke before you, and now your very good self. Some people have been trying to come in, but we wanted to get, your base commentary before we bring people in. So we'll take a quick break now. Do please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every weekday on Business Nigeria, we uncover the secrets of the financial world.
We analyze the stock market, shares, bonds, and the thrilling world of cryptocurrency.
Facts matter. Our team dives deep to separate facts from popular opinion.
We simplify complex government policies as it impacts your everyday life, helping you navigate the ever-changing financial landscape.
Watch Business Nigeria every weekday at 2 p.m. only on TVC News. First with breaking news.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Meet Benga Oreshegun, a fearless voice and an advocate for the truth. He's bringing fresh energy and bold insights to Journalists Hangout.
Get ready for deeper analysis and dynamic perspectives. Join me and Babajide Kolade Otitoju with other veteran journalists on Journalists Hangout. Weekdays from 5 p.m. and on Sundays 1:30 p.m.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
Okay, welcome back. Our caption, that is our subject of discussion, is terrorist Turji surrenders arms and releases captives. I hear that we have a caller. Are you still there? Do we have a caller on the line? Yes. Okay, tell us your name, please. What's your name?
Okay, AIG Durosimi.
Oh, okay. AIG retired Durosimi.
Yeah, retired AIG Durosimi. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead then. Go ahead, please.
Yes, the Bello Turji's so-called surrendering not taken for granted. He's not deceiving Nigerians. The moment they realize that it's a fight, they will continue to say they want to surrender. We should fight the troops, should fight him so that this guy can be captured once and for all. Enough is enough. This soldier troops is a contribution.
Okay. Thank you very much, retired AIG Durosimi on the line there. And we, as you know, we've been on this conversation. Both our guests, Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi, he's a politician, executive director of Patriots for Advancement of Peace and Social Development in our Abuja studio, as well as Malam Usman Mohammed Anache, chairman of the Grassroots Advocacy for Peace and Good Governance. Thank you very much, gentlemen. In the light of what we are now getting, both of what you gentlemen have expressed, let me come to you, Dr. Shinkafi. What do you make of the report that is out there? Because you are almost giving the lie to it. Say when did all of that happen? And in any case, did it go through the proper process? And where are those arms? Where, you know, the whole thing just seems, to those who are directly concerned, it seems a bit far-fetched. And the caller just came in and said that he's not impressed. In fact, both of you gentlemen have said as much yourself, especially Malam Usman Mohammed Anache, that there is no trust, probably because it's not been going the way it should be going. So, Dr. Shinkafi, what do we now make of the banner headline that we have, which is Terrorist Turji surrenders arms, releases captives. It sounds good until you begin to narrow down, as you gentlemen have been doing.
Yeah, you see, as I have said earlier, Turji has some sub-commanders. And this are Sani Black, Mala Ila, Kanawa,
yes,
Mbokolo,
yes,
Atarwache, and many others, and Ankalamu. These his sub-commanders have their catchment area in the rural communities. All of the commanders, like Mbokolo, is in charge of Sabon Birni Axis, Goroyan Axis, and Isa. So that is Kamara Village, Modachi, Baparawa, Turba, Sabon Birni Axis in Gatawa, in Mahalaba, Kwana Mahalaba, and many others. Then when you talk of Malan Ila, he has a catchment area in Maberea, Manawa, part of Badarawa, and part of Kaya. He's the one launching attacks, and he's also hide at where he keep captives. Then Sani Black is the one in charge of Kwashabawa, Mayasa, Kadamusa, Gidan Shaho, Rukudawa, and Brane, Mashema, part of Dusi, Mpuki, and many other villages which are under the command and the authority of Turji. And in this hideout, there is many captives cut across under captivity in this their sub-command under Turji. So what he was saying, nobody should take him for granted. And if you went and reconcile with Turji, or you make a peace deal with Turji, what about Ansadia, who is the most deadly and heartless armed bandit? Even as I'm talking to you, more than Turji now, he is in our forest.
Okay, what did you call that one? What's the name of that one?
Sadia.
Okay.
He is the one who slaughtered those 35 people from Banga communities. Then what about if you talk of Yellow, then Megari, at the back of Bakulori Dam? His camp is at the back of Bakulori Dam. They call it Bayanrua or Bakirua in Marado local government. Then what about if you talk of Ado Aleru, who is the most eldest among them? What about who is in charge of Enkuzo, Monhaye, all the axis, Kunchinkalgo, Paskari, Basari, and other part of Katsina State? What about if you talk of in Shehu Bagewaye from Birni Magaji, Arona Shawari, who are also in charge of Birni Magaji, part of Zulmi, and also Adjacide.
Okay.
Busani, Chigama. What about if you talk of those who are they are cut across the 14 local government?
So, Dr. Shinkafi, what I am getting from this, I also got it from when Malam Anachi was speaking with us, is that you are not impressed at all by the headline, Terrorist Turji surrenders arms, releases captives. You are not impressed.
I'm not impressed, and nobody should take him for granted. There should be a total military forces against him and his followers.
Okay, I can see.
Nobody is opposing non-kinetic approach, but it was not strategically packaged.
Yeah.
The non-kinetic approach there should be a total disarmament, de-radicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration.
I could see Malam Usman nodding. I could see Malam Usman nodding vigorously in agreement to all of that. Yeah, I can see that. So at least we have that position. Mr. George has called in from Ikeja. Good morning, Mr. George.
Yes, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning to your guests.
Yeah.
Uncle Yori, I'm beginning to see
good morning.
Propaganda and mischief in this whole thing. what is the imperative of clerics in this matter? If a terrorist has surrendered arms or is agreeing to some form of negotiations, is it the cleric that should announce it or the military spokesperson?
Exactly.
That already tells me that something is wrong in between. Now, I heard what the doctor is saying, that there is no evidence to show that there was actually any submission of arms, and that no due process that is done to that kind of thing has been done at all, and that nobody has seen any detainee that was released. So, it shows that somebody somewhere is playing a game, and we need to be very careful about these things. Some people are trying to make money out of it. The government should make sure that doesn't happen. Many a time, this Turji of a man had made promises to people who went to him, and there is no single one that he has fulfilled. When the military is closing in on him, he will be doing all sorts of fake submissions. The military should just not bother. They should just take him out and take out everything they can take out from his camp and his followers, and then pursue the rest that are still remaining.
Okay.
There are some situations, Uncle Yori, that no kinetic might work. But this one that has been on for so many years now, it doesn't appear that that can work in this Zamfara. So that I am fully in support of what these two guys are saying, that government, the military should go all out and flush them out.
Indeed. Thank you very much for calling in. Again, Malam Usman, I saw you nodding that precisely is what you've been talking about. Because especially the point where the governor was not involved, I don't know if emirs were involved. And so where is the credibility coming from? Is it just these, well, maybe respected clerics, Malam Musa Yusuf and all the other people that we have mentioned? Is that the sole authority for this story that is claiming through a banner headline that terrorist Turji surrenders arms? What arms is what people are asking? Releases captives. Where are the captives is what people are asking. That seems to be what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. I don't agree with this type of negotiations, because I even want the security agencies to investigate the scenario of these negotiations. Because recently, if you observe, there's some report that right in Gusau, around Endoto Foods, somebody who is well respected by everybody in that area have been arrested by security agencies of being collaborator with these bandits. So I don't trust anybody on this area except the security agencies to do their work. The doctor said they should go for reconciliation or rehabilitation or integration. I don't borrow that idea. I borrow the idea of the military total elimination of this bandit. Why I said it is this. If somebody combined a vehicle of 18-seater bus with people inside crying, and a woman threw her child outside so that the child will not burn, and the bandit will carry that child and throw it back into the vehicle, who are you negotiating with? Are those human beings? Are those supposed to be listened to? Are those need to come to which table? What do they understand except that fire?
Yeah.
So the military continue their campaign, thanks to all the clerics who have shown their concern. But they should please step aside and allow the total
professionals
elimination of these bandits.
Exactly. Well, you know, Dr. Shinkafi, as you know, just about everybody knows in Nigeria that, you know, the clerics, they are respected because of their, you know, their learning and you know, all of that kind of a thing. That's why they have been involved in this. They even say that they were prevailed upon, and this is worrisome. It is worrisome that the villagers, the communities are calling on clerics to go and negotiate peace for them. And I think it was Dr. Shinkafi who had said that that's not quite the way to go. And I'm beginning to worry myself about what do we do, because in our business here, you know, story writing, journalism, sources are so very important. And so what's the source for this story? In fact, the way I started off with Dr. Shinkafi was that it does look as if we're getting some good news. Well, and then he put it in context that, well, yes, so far as we can see evidence of what has been spoken about. We see evidence of arms that have been given up. Dr. Shinkafi, I believe it was, who explained how that process is, and that's not the case at all. So I think what I'm getting from all of this is that one should take all these reports, even from reputable, you know, journals, you know, with caution, and seek alternative viewpoints, such as we are trying to do now, for people to now understand the actual full context and know whether it is Uhuru or not. And it doesn't appear to be, from what you guys are saying.
Shall I respond?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see what the cleric is trying to display here, and the information is trying to also, he has already make public. It's a very fragile and very complex information which should be handled with extra care. Because
by professionals.
The cleric is not the, you said what?
By professional negotiators.
Yes, there should be it should be handled professionally, and apart from that, the cleric is trying to expose the failure of the institutional failure. That he was trying to show that there's a government within government. He's trying to display that maybe the federal government cannot use a federal might to fight this crime and criminality in Nigeria. He's trying to display the weaknesses of the military forces. Because what he was saying in Hausa, what he saw, like it is more imperative by the government to make peace with this criminal, because he saw a heavy arms and ammunition, highly sophisticated weapons. I believe with him that there is a weapons in the hands of this bandit. Cut across this banditry camp in the northwest, there is a total of more than 60,000 arms and ammunition, rifles, pistols, and other sophisticated weapons. But the government can use technology, can use a war drum, can use many deploys on technology to dismantle this bandit. If a government can mobilize 30,000, 40,000 security forces to go for an election in Osun or in Kitio or in Anambra, where they are doing obstacle election, or in Bayelsa, why government cannot deploy total security, more than 50,000 security, to go and flush this criminal once and for all? And we have to apply satellite and the drones, war drone for surveillance and war drone for attack. This is something we have to employ serious military hardware and software to fight this crime and criminality.
Okay.
We cannot always go through conventional way. We have to use technology. So the cleric, we have many famous, respected clerics in Shinkapi only, apart from even in the state capital. Okay. Why will the Islamic cleric from Kaduna go to Shinkapi in the Tori out to go and be making peace? This is highly misleading, mischievous, and nobody should take it for granted.
So, Malam Usman Mohammed, what do you say? What do you say to this? Malam Usman, what do you say to this?
What I can say is, I sometimes agree with the doctor, but you see, the problem of this insurgency started for a long time. This is around since 2015, 2016 that it started here in the northwest, and it is the infiltration of some of the Boko Haram members from the northeast that comes there. So you have to get to the root of the matter first before you go and quench the problem of security challenges. So the problem is that the government has come new, just 2 years now. They have to look at the situation and start addressing the situation gradually. And alhamdulillah, most of the areas that are not reachable before are now accessible. But still, there is a lot of things to do. And as Doctor has rightly said, we have all the technology you can take to eliminate this in 1 week. So I don't see a reason why there should be a delay or anything or in favor of anybody. The lieutenants that are assisting Mr. President, they should do their needful. You don't need to wait for your head to come and tell you that this is what you do.
Indeed.
If you are waiting for your head to come and tell you this is what you do, then you are not supposed to be on that position.
All
so
right,
Mr. President has appointed the right people, so the right people should do the right thing. Turji is nothing compared to our military might that we can take over not only Sabonbirni, even the neighboring country in a day. So why are we wasting our time and exploiting our resources on just a mere bandit? So we should sit down, look at this critically, end this immediately, let our people go back to their farms. If we don't want to, much of this hunger to start coming, the leaders have to do the needful. They have to come back to their senses. Then the masses has to cooperate with their leaders, and they have to pray again for the country. So the masses should not be given information to these bandits. So if these bandits are isolated, it will just, they are the one who will come out of that enclave themselves. So look at the scenario. All those areas, that Sabonbirni, this thing, all those Shinkapi, Gatawa, is area that has mineral resources underneath. It has mineral resources. Why should mineral resources become a disaster to us instead of becoming a blessing?
Okay.
So I don't
we're going to have to thank you very much, Malam Usman Mohammed Anache. We're going to have to leave it here, but I want to thank you, gentlemen, for your expertise and also giving us your perspective on this story that is out there. And I think those who have read the stories with the headline, Terrorist Turji surrenders arms, releases captives, they can now add this, at least this is direct in terms of sources. They are getting, this is yet another source, you gentlemen, that, are close to the ground out there. So I want to thank you, Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi, as always, for coming on, and no less thanks to you too, Malam Usman Mohammed Anache. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on our program today. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, then. Our pleasure always. So do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.